So today I'm going to speak about a theme that is a little bit connected to the third line, but I think it's such a good theme and reminder to all of us of how life, really can work and how to bring that in more to our lives. So we know that the third line, so these are usually people that have a third line in the profile, so a 1-3 or a 3-5 or a 3-6. Can also be somebody though that has third lines on other places in the profile. Doesn't have to be, or in the charts, doesn't have to be the profile, that can recognize. So I have it, for example, in my culture, I have it in my Pearl, I have it in my EQ in the gene keys, and I have it in even more places if I look at my human design. And what we say for the third line is to break out from the need for attention or approval and start doing things without an agenda. Because a third line is here to be a changer. It's here to be somebody that is allowed to play with energy and play with experiences, and even play in relationships. It's a playfulness that is there all the time. It's a dynamism. And a word that doesn't go so well with a third line is consistency. And we are kind of taught to think that we need to be consistent, that we need to have a structure, that we need to have a plan, that we need to have a schedule. And this doesn't go so well with the third line. And many third lines that try to push themselves into those frames and outlines many times struggle, because you kind of feel like you fail and then you shame yourself, or other people shame you because they say it's easy, this is the timetable, and can you not even make this work. And for me, it's kind of this thing that I would like all the third line to step up and say, but I am a dynamic person. This is how I work. This is how I find my creativity. This is how I am a fresh kind of wind in the world. And to really tap into what's your dynamism, to what's true for you in your flow and in your adventure, in your play with energy and experience, because that's what this third line is here to do. And when we try to do the same over and over again, for me, many times the results are not as good. It's really so connected to this week's transit in the 64th gene key. It's like consistency is kind of dead life. It's your last, I think somebody that said it's like your last way out. If nothing else works, then at least you can, kind of go into some kind of consistency and make yourself think that you are able to do something. But actually, imagination, that is the gift frequency of the 64, is all about new and all about letting the fresh come through. And it's also kind of tantric gene key, so it's about allowing life to unfold and allowing even our mind to not go in any ways or pathways where it has been before. And for example, this morning I've been doing a workout program for like a long time now, maybe 8 months, and trying to kind of get it in every day, and I've added some things to it and taken out some things, but it's kind of being the same structure. And then this morning I turned on my phone and I was like, I wonder about that yoga app that I used to do, and I had one instructor that I just really, really love. It's a woman from Hungary that has such a really cool accent when she speaks Swedish. So I just remember that, and then I had some I was trying to log in and I couldn't, and I wrote to support, and then I was trying to pay and I couldn't. I was like, part of me was like, okay, let this go. It's not easy, then it's not right. But there's still this thing inside of me, like I really felt like I wanted to do something different with my body. I didn't want to do the same routine, although it's really cool that I've done for 8 months. So I did one more time. I tried to log in on my computer, and then suddenly with a code, everything was there again. And everything I set up with my playlist and everything, I found this thing, and it was only a 70-minute program, which is not huge, with a warm up and with a shavasana afterwards. And that workout that I haven't been doing in 8 months, when I tap into it with the new strength that I've built and everything that that I've changed for 8 months, it was so cool. I felt like I was flying and breathing, and afterwards I can still feel like my cells are awake from that changing things around, and from that fire, because the third line for me is so much the power, it's the third chakra, it's that willpower, that fire to do things, that kind of desire to do things. And to not just because we get some kind of structural obstacle that tells us to not go there, like logging in or, a plan or payment, and go a little bit further because you have that desire, you have that feeling that this is where I want to go, this is where my fire wants to go, and you go there, and when you feel like what you can get back, and how beautiful it is to change things around, and the dynamism, and how beautiful it is to live in this body, and you know, to do things different, to not always do the same, and that is imagination. And I mean, what I'm talking about is not really so different. It's more like changing things around, which I feel when it comes to the physical body is just so really cool. I used to do no sugar whatsoever, and now I'm starting every morning with a juice that is like citrus and apple, and then some cayenne and some ginger, and it's like, wow, it's really kind of really works. And of course, if I'm stuck on the things I'm not supposed to have any carbs, then it doesn't work. But if I can change around and feel how it feels in my body, then it's like really super detoxing, really good for the liver, for the gallbladder. So when we allow ourselves to play, and when we, you know, we can go a little bit out of the comfort zone of like what we might think and what we might think that we know, and have some imagination. There's so many things that can come through. So I, you know, try, be dynamic, and, you know, throw consistency out of the window and see what happens. Bye.